Hey guys, what is up? I am TitoTheOG, and I know I've made many videos about different kinds of 3D printers and claiming that every single one of them is the best beginner's 3D printer, but I mean this with every fiber of my being when I say this. The HeyGears Reflex RS is the ultimate beginner's 3D printer, and I'll be going into why in this video. So just want to say a huge thanks to the HeyGears team for actually providing me with the Reflex RS to review in this video. And while yes, this is me reviewing a product that they gave me, I have been tinkering with this thing for the past month or so, and I have to say this is some of the most amount of success I've had with a 3D printer while using it. Now, HeyGears is a relatively newer company being founded in 2015, and they specialize in, like I mentioned, making 3D printers that are very 3D friendly and are very efficient from getting you to point A to point B. Point B being a finished successful 3D print. And I have many products in front of me that I have printed with multiple different resins that they had sent me, and every single one of these prints were an amazing success, which I'll be going into more detail on these prints later on in the video. As of right now, I just want to discuss, unboxing the printer and getting it turned on to use. Whew. Yeah. Unboxing this resin printer was honestly a delight. I always love unboxing these sort of electronics because I just love to see the different ways they're packaged. And the way HeyGears has packaged this guy, I felt like this thing wasn't going anywhere. It was wrapped up in there. Inside the big old box, you have all the materials you need, just like the scrapers, your extra screws, your power cables, and all your basic necessities. Inside the actual printer cover itself is where you have the build plate and the vat. HeyGears was also nice enough to send me the heated resin tank, which is what I'm opening here. It is a special vat that you put on the printer, which does exactly what it sounds like. It heats up the resin in the vat. Now, taking a look around the printer, on the side is where you have all of your mechanisms. You have your USB port, a micro SD card, power cable, and the power slot. I like that it's towards the front of the printer because it's easy to access. And the printer itself overall is just very high quality. The materials are really nice. It's a very heavy duty machine. I love the quality of the build plate and how it slides on, and everything just feels premium. And turning on the Reflex RS is just such an amazing experience that setting up this thing took no longer than 5 minutes because of how efficient and how simple they made the process. Now, I would go through the process on turning this thing on and getting it set up to do your first print, but I'm going to be completely honest, HeyGears has done an amazing job at making the entire process super streamlined, and you can get the startup process done in about 5 minutes. It's that quick. But I will say, using the mobile app to connect to the printer itself was very easy. I booted up the printer, I connected it to my Wi-Fi, and my phone detected it there, and it automatically connected to my device. And that immediately let me look at the files on the printer itself. So the mobile app is a necessity for this printer. After everything is set up, I went ahead and I grabbed one of their proprietary resin bottles. Here I have their PAP10 ash gray resin, and this is one of their main resins. And what's interesting about this is their resins operate on a sort of cartridge refill sort of thing where you input the entire bottle into the backside of the printer itself, and there is a little knob in the bottle itself which doesn't allow it to spill. In the vat, there's a little notch that allows the resin to pour into the vat itself, and it fills it up to constantly keep it filled at all times. And that's another one of those things that's like, wow, I didn't think I needed this, but the fact that this thing refills the resin when it's needed is pretty dang cool. HeyGears takes pride in the pre-processing and post-processing process of 3D printing, where everything is streamlined using their Blueprint Studio program on your computer. The ease of use in Blueprint Studio is actually crazy. I'm able to toss my models in there and automatically have the program itself slice the files and send it straight to the printer without me doing anything. It will orient the prints in the way you need it. It will add the supports in the best way possible, and it will send it straight to the printer without you having to press anything else. It's actually quite crazy. All right, guys, so we are here in Blueprint Studio, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new file. So I'm going to choose my device type, which is the Reflex RS. Don't have any add-ons, general purpose. As for resins, I'm just going to make this project with just the PAP10 resin. So we're going to go ahead and select our resin. It asks us for the layer thickness, and I usually just go with the 50 microns. Okay, so here I have my model imported, and what you can do first to make sure your model is good and ready to print is click on this repair button, and what it does, it fixes the defects in the 3D model to ensure those models could be sliced error-free. So I'm just going to go ahead and run one of those repairs. So another thing you can do is you can simplify the model, which lowers the tries on the model itself. This current model that I have has an insane amount of tries, which is about 400,000, and I can lower the amount to as low as 40,000, but if I'm being honest, I just leave it at the resolution I have it at currently. But that is an option for those who are interested. It's as simple as one-click slicing, which will send it straight to the printer, but here I'm going to show some of the settings that the Blueprint Studio slicer offers. So first off, on the left side, we have Orient, and it will automatically orient the model for you, which here it chooses to do the points upwards. So we're just going to go ahead and roll with that. You can move it anywhere on the build plate, rotate it, scale it, of course. And what I do for most of my models is I hollow the model, and I use a thickness of around 1.2 millimeters. And there we go. This little slider right here on the right side lets you look at it by different layers, and we can see that the model is completely hollow. And in this portion is where I will start punching some holes in the model, and I'll punch them in some of the areas that are isolated. Once it's oriented in the way I want it and it has the drain holes, it's time to add the supports, which I typically just do auto support. I don't edit any of the settings, but if you would like to, you can adjust all of the different settings on the supports themselves. But let's just generate some auto supports. This is what it generated for the support. Typically, I would just roll with what it generates, but there are some areas that I feel could use a little bit more support, which is where I will manually add some supports. And then here on the manual support settings, you can choose the different visibility options, as well as the visibility of the supports, so that way it makes your workflow a little bit easier. And I'll just go ahead and start placing some more supports on the tips here. All right, added a few more supports here, and we're gonna go ahead and go to our slice and slice the model itself, and then send it straight to your printer. It is that easy. And there are only a few of the models here that I oriented myself in my own way to try and put the printer to the test. And the very first ever one I printed is this Mephiles the Dark head sculpt. And I always print this one to test out the quality of my printers, because look at all of these little crackles and details within this model. And I just want to preface that little hole in there, that is actually my fault. That wasn't from the printer. During the print, I had opened the lid and accidentally dropped it down, and I think that kind of caused some sort of issue with the print itself. But that's the only sort of blemish on this print, and that was caused by me, unfortunately. But if you look at the rest of the details on this thing, everything is practically flawless. Now you have these support blemishes on the chin there, but those are super easy to sand out. So I kind of just left all of my prints not processed and just as they came off of the printer. And yeah, this guy looks very, very clean. And I just want to say this is done with their PAP10 resin. So this is their production grade resin. So it's supposed to be very precise and supposed to be very good. And as you can see, it got all of those precise details here. Next up was just another head sculpt I had laying around, and it was this dark spine Sonic one. You could see it got the etched lines in there very nicely. And I tried printing this one a little differently. I tried to test the printer by having the points, the points of his quills being the main points of contact for the supports. Usually when I print these Sonic heads like that, that gives me a lot of issues, gives me a lot of, you know, layer lines because of the, I guess, poor points of support. And this one actually quite nailed it. Now there are a few layer lines there, but once again, that's because I was really pushing this printer to the test to see if it could print it in this really strange way that I support it. You can see later on that whenever I have it do auto support, it prints it perfectly fine without any issues. But once again, this was just me testing it out. And then here I tried printing a actual statue, and this is a Lara Croft Tomb Raider statue made by my friend Matt Crafts. So I kind of sliced up the model itself and I put it to print, and you can see, look at the details on her face, and those are support blemishes. Once again, those can get sanded off. You got the little buckles on her backpack, and it just came out very clean. Zero fails whatsoever, just a flawless print from start to finish. And as I printed these first few test prints, I realized that this thing is next level, and I went ahead and I switched resins. Now here are some other head sculpts of mine printed with their PAS-10 resin, which is their standard printing resin. And first off, I just want to show off the prints that I printed at the lowest resolution, which is the rapid speed mode, and it printed them at 100 microns, which is equivalent to 0.1 millimeters. So layer lines are supposed to be a little bit more visible on this setting, but I mean, you can't really see much unless you really squint your eyes. I'm having to try and like look here at the print over the camera. Okay, yeah, if you really like squint your eyes, you can kind of see some of the layer lines, but this was using auto support settings, and look, it got like, this is crazy how clean it looks. Those are just drain holes that I added so that way resin could escape, but like, holy cow, guys, the quill detail is just very defined, and for being, you know, 100 microns, this is very, very clean. Next up, also printed at 100 microns, is this Shadow the Hedgehog head sculpt, and you can see a few of the layer lines there on his forehead. But if I'm being honest, if you're someone who doesn't mind taking time to sand these things, that is an easy fix. And these were printed at 50 microns, which is 0.05 millimeters. And this is about your standard layer height. And look at how clean this head sculpt came out. It is extremely, extremely smooth. It almost feels like I took a light sanding to it already, but this is how it came off of the printer. It's just so like crazy holding it in hand and feeling how smooth this thing is. Like, look at how sharp the details are and how clean the final result is. It's really like amazing. Same for this guy, printed on the same 50 microns, and you got the head sculpt details there. You got some engraved details all over the sides. This one I did kind of try and push a little bit to the test by printing all of these spiky details with the supports on the spikes. I mean, it got all of the spikes perfectly. There are just a little missing like spikes here and there, but once again, like I said, that was just me pushing the print to the test. But like, regardless, the results are very, very nice. Finally, the last resin that I used was the PAF-10 resin, which is their flexible resin. And this was one that I was most excited for because resin is such a brittle material that having a flexible one is very satisfying. So I kind of wanted to print a few of my models that are a little bit more fragile. Sorry, it looks like she was drinking milk or something, but I had sanded the mouth a little bit just to see how it was. But here is a print of Amy Rose's head, and these eyelashes are very thin, but look at that. I'm able to bend them, and they're not snapping. I kind of want to bend one as far as I can to see how much force it will take to snap. And then here I have this sword that I wanted to see if it could capture all the details while maintaining that flex that it has. So you could see these very, very clean details on here. And look at that. It's got some give to it. So this resin is very, very nice. And I love the fact that I didn't have to change any of the settings myself. HeyGears did all of that for me. And another thing that I want to discuss, which is a very, very essential part of this printer, is that the resin that you use for it is proprietary, meaning that you can only use HeyGears resin for this printer. Now, this is a very interesting approach to resin 3D printing because most of us know that we just buy resin and we calibrate our printers to use specific resins from all these different companies. But the way HeyGears does it is it gives you their resin and you go on to the Blueprint Studio, you pick the exact resin you're using, and the printer automatically sets the settings to the resin depending on which one you're using. Now, the fact that it's proprietary is part of the easy user experience because you don't have to go through all this trial and error, printing multiple different calibration tests and all that, because HeyGears already did all that troubleshooting for you. The fact that HeyGears has already gone through all the calibrating troubles that most people just absolutely dislike going through, like me, I think that this is such an awesome feature because I didn't calibrate anything. I just selected the resin I had, it printed it, and the products came out flawlessly. Now, HeyGears was also generous enough to send me their Ultracraft wash and cure stations, which are two separate machines that are sold, well, separately, or you could buy the combo, which comes with all three devices. But these are basically as they sound. They are HeyGears' unique wash and cure station. Now, when I first saw these things online, I was kind of tripping out because one looks like a microwave and the other one looks like, I don't know, but it's doing some crazy moves that I was all about. And the wash machine was crazy because you send the Blueprint Studio file that you sliced to the wash machine and it analyzes the model and it washes it for you. Most of the time though, I kind of just set the wash time to 3 minutes and then I put the other wash bin on top of it and I let it filter out and I wash it again like another cycle. That's usually what I did most of the time, just because it's faster for me to just swap it out like that rather than sending the sliced file to the wash and cure station. Same for the cure station. You can send the slice file to the cure station to cure it for a specific amount of time that it deems necessary. But I usually just turned it on to like 5 minutes, let that run, flip it over for like another 3 minutes or so. You kind of get the hang of it after using it a few times. You kind of dial in exactly what time settings you need. But the cure station is also very good. I love that it's lined with mirrors and it has a rotating base that spins the prints around and cures it. And there's also like air blowing inside of it that, you know, dries any leftover isopropyl alcohol that could be on the surface of the print. So I was just pleasantly surprised with the quality of the wash and cure stations. And I honestly recommend it for anyone who is looking to get the entire HeyGears set because it is one heck of a combo. Now, the HeyGears Reflex RS clocks in at about $699 USD, which sounds like a lot, but remember, the ease of use on this printer is the biggest selling point, being you can process prints and send them straight to the printer and get them printing within 10 minutes, maybe even less. And the fact that HeyGears has already gone through the trouble of trial and erroring and mastering their resins so that way you don't have to do it over and over again just to get one successful print. Like I mentioned, every single one of my prints came out successful first try. There weren't any that failed. I never got any notifications that there was any abnormalities on the printer. Everything came out exactly as I had expected it to be, and with exceeding in quality that I had expected it to be. And I think the price point isn't even trade-off considering all this time HeyGears saves you. Especially if you're a business owner. Everyone, you know, they always say time is money, and HeyGears saves you a lot of time. With that being said, go down in the description below and pick yourself up a Reflex RS printer. That is all, guys. I am TitoTheOG, and I will see you guys next time.